Our Art Walk event is in full effect. Let's go see if we can chat with some of today's artists. We have Richard Wilson here. Richard,
Hello.
Tell me about the series.
Well, so these are portraits of friends of mine and peers, really. I guess just from the circles that I'm mixing in, it happens to be creatives, whether that's artists or in the music business. And I'm really keen to try and portray us, what I'm calling normal people, in this kind of style of painting usually reserved for aristocracy and heads of state, that kind of thing. It's quite an unusual thing to see ourselves in this light. I mean, as a longer term thing, I'm trying to do these in a way to wake up this idea of portraiture and the importance of it, and keeping it alive, so to speak, in institutional spaces like museums, not just here but all over the world.
So who is this gentleman you're drawing right here, or painting right here?
So this is Dr. Hubert Massey. He's a renowned artist in the city.
Okay.
He's become like a big brother to me since I moved here.
Oh.
And so he's one of the only living authentic fresco painters in America. I think there's less than 20. And he actually learned from the assistants of Diego Rivera while they were doing DIA fresco. So
Very cool.
Hubert has an incredible lineage back to Diego Rivera's knowledge. And so this is Hubert set in his studio with all of his fresco paraphernalia, pigments, grinding tools, a drawing he's working on in the background for an upcoming fresco that he's doing. And so part of this portrait process that I'm trying to do is not just the person, but capture them in their place of work, or a place that makes sense for them. And even on these smaller ones, it's very subtle. This is an artist called Freddie Diaz from Detroit as well. So he works predominantly with spray paint. So he's got spray cans behind him just in the background, again in his studio. So it might be really subtle, but it's just trying to capture the person and their tools, really.
Wow, those are really amazing.
Thank you. I'm working usually from a reference photo that I took. The bit that I'm doing at the moment, I don't really need it, but usually I have a screen here, like my Mac, and I've got the image on that, which is a photo that I took of him in his studio.
So I'm Andrew with Axiom Glass out of Royal Oak, Michigan. We're here today at the Lighting Resource Studio. We brought some additional pieces on display. This is a new design for us. We just debuted it this year. It's called Caldera, and it is this soft kind of pillow bowl shape. It's all hand blown by myself and our crew. We make them in different sizes, different colors. It's a decorative vessel. You can use it functionally or just leave it out as a kind of a little sculptural piece.
And how about these right here?
Yeah, all the glass are signed originals. This is called Senzanome. It's a grouping of vases that we make them in different heights, different colors. It's a pretty neat design where we cast the bottom, it's poured glass, and then this is blown. We fuse it together, making this kind of real clean, minimal design.
And how about lastly, the ones on the left?
Yeah, the thorns. I've been making these for almost 20 years. It's our signature piece. Again, a decorative vessel, maybe jewelry for the home. These thorns are all added on to the glass bubble when it's hot. We work in a team of 4 where we fuse all these on, and we make them in different sizes and colors. They retail about $800 up to about $4,800.
That's very cool.
I'm Mark Georges, an artist, and this is my piece. It's inspired me by the Greek or Roman ancient, style, you could say, and it's made from mixed media, plaster, and like foam to make it light. And I cover it with a canvas on the top of it, so it doesn't peel off or falls.
Very cool.
Hi, I'm Lori Tennant. I'm here at the Michigan Design Center. My work is represented by Tennant and Associates here at the center. And I just wanted to talk a little bit to designers that may have clients that have homes that are not in Michigan. And I work with many designers where we can, if you take a picture of a room, we can then superimpose or drop pictures in to that photo so you can easily see how a piece might work in your home. We also like to bring things to get a feel, if you are in the area, of how that work looks in the space. It makes choosing the artwork a little bit easier.
So Boswell, tell me about these images behind you.
Hi, yes, these images behind me were shot in Paris for a glove designer based in Bali. So I met them in Paris and I said, do you want some photos of your product? And they're like, I said, I have a great model and an art director. So we ended up shooting this campaign, and now it resides in my catalog of work.
Love it. Very cool.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Cecilia Covington. I'm an artist and designer, and I'm showing some of my lampshade products today. My inspiration is found in my background and passion for decorative papers. I use the decorative papers, magazine pages, and sometimes hand-painted motifs on my lampshades as well.
My name is Kevin Bahura, and I was interested in having the image be sort of married to the medium. So the idea was to make a rose entirely out of rose petals. And that's what this is. There's no paints, there's no pigments. The blacks are rose petals too.
Wowzers.
Thanks for saying wowzers. That's great. What I did was I took a photo of a rose, several roses actually, and I picked one that I thought looked most beautiful, and that was this one. And then I plucked that rose, preserved each petal, and then I bought thousands of other roses, and I made this out. So the image is the medium. The actual rose that I plucked, that I photographed, is in here. It's actually in the center, right there. And so the rest is built around it. It's all roses.
So how do they stay this color?
That took 15 years. Yeah, that's the secret sauce. That's the sort of trade secret on this. So it's some of the petals you're looking at here are 15 years old, and they were preserved way back then. And I've tested them with heat, with moisture, Vegas sun in August, and they won't fade. This is the final sort of iteration of it. I want to make 6 of these total, and then I'm done. So I like to think I'm like little Fabergé eggs. I'm going to make a bunch of different colors: a blush pink, a cream white, a yellow, purple, and then a really, really dark one.
Great.
Yeah, and then done. And I'm going to move on to some other things that I've been planning on doing that are really similar in concept, where the image is actually the medium, and that's what's coming soon. So.
Hi, my name is Valeria, Val for everybody. I'm an interior designer and an architect, and I do art as well, paintings and sculptures. What inspired me for this piece was the element of fire. I have a study on feng shui in my house, and I needed an element of fire in my entrance. And so I decided to create something that resembles that.
My name is Mike Lapico. I'm a Canadian artist. I'm also working here in Michigan. This piece of artwork here is the Jazz Man, which is made out of acrylic. A lot of inspiration is from travel and other artists, and also from music. So I've been doing this for over 30 years. Went to school for Center for Creative Studies. Took design there as well. I'm also co-owner of an advertising agency in Michigan. And I've been doing fine art like this for over 20 years. So from acrylic primarily, sculpture, but again, influences from nature, other artists, and from life experiences and musicians.
Love it.
My name is Tony Rocco. I'm an artist from Plymouth, Michigan. This piece is titled The Main Event. Boxing has often been referred to as the loneliest sport. And I really can relate to that as an artist, because as an artist we spend a lot of time in solitude, and we work on our craft, and then we sort of present it to the public, or in this case we take the main stage, and it's very vulnerable to finally have to exhibit the things that you've worked on such a personal level. So in this piece, the artists take the main stage, and everybody observing, everybody in the audience is there for their own particular reason. You've got the guy stage right over here, he's placing another bet. You have my self-portrait in the middle, and you can see that he's not happy with the outcome. This gentleman has an interesting idea he's sharing. And when you take the main stage, often, some people are there to see you succeed, and unfortunately, some people are there to see you fall flat. So the piece is more symbolic than anything else of my journey, really.
Richard, I'm obsessed with your Stevie Wonder in Detroit.
Wow.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Thank you. That's very kind. I was here in 2018 painting a mural in Eastern Market. And a bit like this kind of work, I'm just so interested and passionate in capturing people who are doing great work. Stevie Wonder, probably, in my humble opinion, the ultimate example of that.
For sure.
And I couldn't believe there wasn't a monument to him in the city, whether that's a sculpture somewhere or a statue or a painting in the DIA. And so at the time I was predominantly more mural based, hadn't really got into oil paintings like this at that point. And I thought, I saw the wall that was blank at the time, and I got the address of it, and I sent an email to the building owner.
Really?
Saying, can I paint Stevie Wonder on your wall? Which is something that actually isn't even that, still not that easy for the person to say yes, especially downtown. A lot of politics. Does the hotel that overlook it want it? All sorts of stuff. I found the right guy, Vince Paul, director of the music hall, who just made the whole thing happen. I came back out probably about 6 months later and started painting. That was May 2019.
Wow, and then so you moved here.
So I was just here as a tourist, painting cheekily on the side. And while I was here, I met a girl and we got married, not quite that quickly, but within reason. And now it's home since 2021.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah, so thank you. It's still a very surreal thing for me because it gets mentioned and people know it. They've seen it, had their picture taken with it, etc. And yeah, it's quite an overwhelming thing in a good way to know you were able to do that.